Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah, yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you, right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring to go.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. He finds an opening past the 40. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
No, check, Patriot!
3rd and 2, Darnold. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. This is 1st and goal from about the 8.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run with Peterson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jackson now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board.
Gone, 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 gone.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Darnold from the gun. He's going to launch this thing way down and got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play for the Bucs there on 3rd down. 46 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Set, 319, 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd down, Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. He's at the 50. The 30. The 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big gainer there on 3rd and 5. 81 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
Darnold from the red zone now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all know the receivers and their patterns. These are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flushed under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. They'll set up to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get. It. Now it's 4th. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. And that negates
turn, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
This is Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Drops it off for Coleman. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 6. Quick strike touchdown. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it out past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Leopard!
They're going to look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. DeAndre Hopkins, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
On second down, Darnold. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Here's Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On first down, Darnold forced out to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Coleman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
A first down throw, Darnold. Wide open receiver, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and now it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Second down and 10, Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They pitch it out to Peterson. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball will snap, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They start the drive with Peterson. Solid footwork, but not able to get a whole lot. Brought down shy of the 10. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this
you're
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set. Green, 39.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. A 10th carry now for Peterson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Black 99 Philly, here we go. Set. Green 39.
They run again with Peterson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
3 down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Blue 90.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off of play action, Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going for the deep ball. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Jackson now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Coleman now. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go now.
Here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Darnold. Going underneath. It's Coleman. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So 3 field goal attempts for him, 3 misses so far.
And Brandon, he hasn't looked right from the start. Even going back to pregame warm-ups when we were watching him, our producer, Ben Hallmiller, pointed it out. I don't know if it's an injury or what, but he definitely doesn't look like himself, that's for sure.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas. All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Black 99 Philly. Here we go.
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mike Evans, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Jackson now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Detroit!
Play action. It's Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd down. That's Coleman losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Again, Peterson. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check three. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Check.
They will run again with Coleman. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Darnold under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? What would they be doing? They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. First down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. Breaks through the contact. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now it's Darnold. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Detroit! Detroit!
Watch left. Start right there. 4 down. 13, fellas, 13. Watch 13. Hey, when you can kill it, motion me out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a third down. Darnold from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Watch it now, Barney! Gun!
Check.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Peterson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
No, check. Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They run with Peterson. He's been busy tonight. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gun!
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, 3rd and short, the mindset of the defense, probably playing the run first. But if you're playing any type of pass coverage, tight coverage, press coverage, and offenses often convert their routes at that point and go farther downfield. And that paid off in a big way for them on that one, on big-time catch downfield.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.